Brian Lara.
Up to now, up to now, when I'm
Yes.
practicing cricket, I practice my leave alone shot.
The leave
Leave
alone.
alone shot, and you fold the bat under your arm. I mean, that was
Yeah, man. I remember we
exemplary.
in
Yeah.
class watching that. I think we were about 94, 95.
Yeah,
Man, with Walsh
especially,
out there.
the ball way out, you leave alone, yes.
Yeah, man. Him leaving everything alone.
Yeah, man. Underrated batsman, I should say.
Underrated.
Yeah, very underrated. Everybody know the bowling prowess, but to me,
Yeah,
he's an
man.
underrated batsman. But other than that, later on in the show, we have a rundown of
Yeah, man.
the track and field. The season is heightening. As we
Yeah.
have the trials later on this month. We have football. The Reggae Boys played earlier in this week. Champions League was last weekend. Tennis, Roland Garros.
Yeah.
I mean,
French
as I
Open.
said, T20 World Cup, boxing, table tennis, you name it. We have a lot to catch up on. But without further ado, we're going heading straight into our interview. As I said,
Yeah, let us welcome Courtney Walsh to Primal Sports. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me, man. How are you?
all right. Well, we're good. We're good. How are you doing?
I am all right, and I'm glad you said that I was an underrated batsman because a lot of people don't know I won games with the bat with Lara and Jimmy Adams.
Yeah,
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 of
yeah.
I
course.
also hold the hand I'm intact.
I mean, I know you put more work into the bowling here, but I feel if you put more work in the batting as the bowling, you could have bat further up the order.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
man.
want to tell this to a lot of people look forward to seeing your bat too, because it's very entertaining.
No,
I
no
remember.
matter what the score is.
Yes, man.
You might say there's a joke, but I get more applause going down to bat of late, especially after them leave alone than people that
Of
have
of
won.
course, of course.
No, I'll be laugh because I
I
said
actually went to play, and not Courtney actually went to play a game in the USA. And I was out there batting and trying to bat properly. And the guy then said, no, we come to watch your batting, but not to bat like how you know how to bat.
yeah. All right, we'll kick things off. We have to know, cause I mean, where did cricket all start for you? Sorry,
Yeah,
And
hold
the
on.
other is-
yeah, you freeze up a while ago. You hearing us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you freeze up a while ago. As I said, where did
Okay.
cricket all start for you?
At Melbourne Cricket Club, when I was at the age of very young age, probably from about 5 or 6 as far back as I can remember. Playing with lime and mailboxes and tennis ball. And then that evolved into my first competitive cricket. I think I was 13, still at Melbourne as well. So all my cricket was played between Melbourne and Excelsior. I was at Melrose Primary, but I did not play cricket there until probably my last season there, or last school term. But Melbourne, Excelsior, a lot of it at Excelsior, at school, in the school level, and then Melbourne.
But you said at age 5 or 6. What were you doing at Melbourne at age 5 or 6?
Playing cricket over there with the young boys and running around trying to play cricket.
Oh, okay.
Still look with me playing with some big guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So at
I
6.
just wanted to bowl as well. I just wanted to bowl.
Okay. Well, cricket seems as if it's our national sport, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't see any 6-year-olds play cricket now, so that must have been a big time for cricket
back
in
those
Jamaica
days,
in
because
your
usually
time.
people want to run up and down and probably kick football or climb trees, but I guess
It was then. We had 3 sports that we played at Melbourne: cricket, football, and we used to run. I just used to play a lot of cricket with the bigger fellas at all times. And eventually, when I get into my teens, I was the person that would throw the ball to the pole. And when I get somebody out, then somebody go and bat. So I was always bowling to get people and someone to get that bat. And that's probably why my batting wasn't as good as it should have been, because I never let my bat as much as I should have.
yeah.
Okay.
I was giving the ball to bowl from a younger age. So then, as
Yeah.
I said, from Melbourne to Excelsior, and I guess you played for Excelsior. Tell us about that junior days coming up, playing for Excelsior, and then you looking to be, all right, did you always look to play for West Indies? That was always your dream?
It was always my dream, but I just always wanted to play at the highest level. But as a youngster, my first dream and goal was to try to play for Melbourne. So, after achieving that at school level, then the next step was to play for Jamaica and also West Indies. And I also achieved playing for Jamaica at school level because I was still in school when I made my debut for Jamaica. And then a couple of years after I went on tour to West Indies. But it was always a dream, when you turn on the TV and you saw the guys on the TV back in those days, playing cricket and the way that they were celebrating and stuff. You wanted to be a part of it. So that was always a dream and a goal. And, hopefully one day, when the reality did happen, and I was in the same squad with Beveridge, just Clive, like Mikey, Holden, just to name a few, you kind of pinch yourself and say, is this really happening? Because, you're on the same plane with these people traveling to England.
Yeah.
Okay, so who you looked up to during your time coming up as a young cricketer?
Well, I had a look at the team itself on a whole, but obviously with Michael Holden coming from Melbourne, and I was at Melbourne. He was my person, my go-to person at Melbourne. You watch it. I used to go to games to watch him play in Senior Cup. Wasn't playing at the time. So obviously when we played together in the same Senior Cup team, that was another dream come true. And then went to play for Jamaica as well, and then the West Indies. But I remember being in a bus or a truck going to meet him. I think it was in 1976 when he was coming back from England with the title Hurricane Holding, and I had one of those flags at home for quite some time. Melbourne welcome home Hurricane Holding.
Oh, okay. So, all right, then take us through probably your first experience playing for West Indies. As I said, that was always a dream, but when that became a reality, tell us of your first time taking up that ball, bowling for West Indies.
Well, it's a two-prong attack. I went to England first with the team, didn't play any international games. We beat England 5-0 and won the Test series and also the Texaco Trophy series. But I played in all the county games. And then I made my debut now in Australia. Unexpectedly, because we just beat England 5-0. I didn't expect to play in the Australia series, and I started it and played that entire Test series. So I remember being on the field of play, and Clive Lloyd came to me and says, he wants someone to bowl one over to change Malcolm Marshall and Joel Garner around. And Mikey will put his hands up and says, Skipper, I'll bowl the one over. And the rest was history. Mikey get 5, I think, for not many. And Australia was rolled over for 76. I didn't bowl a ball in the first innings. And then I got my reward in the second innings. I bowled. I think I got 2 for 30 from about 2 for 40 from about 20 overs. But all my 20 overs was bowled into the wind. Because in those days, my role was to look after the senior guys and to have them being rotated. So I bowled my 20 overs into the wind. But I was happy to do so and happy to sort of get 2 wickets as well.
Yeah. And then, they passed the baton to you, and your career, you were, for the 90s, the leading bowler. So tell us about that now. Coming from the junior days now to where you were the man leading the charge with Courtney Ambrose.
Yeah, you're coming from a rookie where you're playing with those big names, as I said, Michael, Malcolm, and Joel, and then the baton is passed on to you, and it was myself, Ian Bishop, Patrick Patterson, Courtney Ambrose, for a bit. Then we had a couple of players, Franklin Rose, Ryan King, just to name a few, Mervyn Dillon, Nixon McLean. Unfortunately, none of those sort of stayed on as long as I was open. But myself and Courtney developed a sort of bowling relationship that, it set the world alight. We probably have some of the best records together as a bowling pair. Unfortunately, Bishop got injured, so he didn't play as much as he could have. But myself, Patrick Patterson, Ian Bishop, and Ambrose had some fantastic Test series together. But Ambrose and I would probably have the best bowling partnership because we understood each other, we complemented each other, and we worked together in terms of getting people out and doing the job that we saw was best for the team. So we had a very good understanding as to what we wanted to do and how we were going to go about doing it.
Okay, so who would you say is your toughest batsman that you have ever faced?
I used to tell people all of them, but I go back to the olden days. There's 3 names that come to mind: Alan Barder, Graham Gooch, and Javid Miandad. Because as a youngster, when you're bowling against those people, those are prize wickets, and they were some of the toughest opponents to try and get out. So I have those 3. They're very difficult to single one. And then when I started to play a lot more, I was more mature. Sachin Tendulkar, Steve Waugh, what were the names that would come before? Sachin was a very flamboyant-looking batsman. Steve Waugh didn't look so flamboyant, but was very difficult to dislodge and get out. So those are 2 of the names that come back down at the bottom end as well.
Yeah, you're a bowler, so you should tell us a little bit. There's a conversation between Sachin and Lara. No. Who would you put as maybe who you put over who in terms of Lara and Sachin?
Well, those two names, I would tell you that Sachin is probably the best right hander I saw her play against, and Brian was the best left hander that played with me, and I saw play as well.
Yeah.
I was obviously not just being West Indian, but there was something special about Brian when he was going. So it was very difficult to separate the two. But if I had us to give another, it was difficult not to say Brian because of some of the innings he played for us as a team, what we saw, what I witnessed. And I mean, I have him in the CMS team as Viv Richards. And when people compare Viv and Brian, as I said, Viv was the best right hander that I played with, and Brian was probably the best left hander that I played with.
So if you have one match to win, if you have Sachin, you have Lara, you have Viv, and you have even Steve Smith, because Steve Smith have a impeccable his stats are really good. Steve Smith. So out of those four, if you have one match to win, who are you going to win?
Well, yeah, you see, I haven't put a class after the type of game, but coming from the old school, I'm going to go with Viv because of the way he dominated and the way he went about getting the job done for us. And also, he's one of the few captains that has never lost a series. So, I mean, you have a bank on that as well. So, yep, I'm going to go for Viv.
I didn't know that one. Never lost a series. Yes.
No.
I guess you could have partnered Viv in the batting then.
Yeah.
Yes,
I did, I did. If you go back to Melbourne, one of those test scores, I think it was 1984, my highest test score. He left me stranded on 30 not out. He made a double.
Yeah.
And I stayed with him until he made the double. He was in the, I think, 160 when I got there. I stayed with him until he made his double. I just wanted him to stay with me until I get my 50. I never got a 50 because of that.
Yeah. I agree.
So what's your highest in terms of batting in tests and one day?
My test was 30 not out. I think one day was 29 not out. For some reason, I couldn't pass 13 test cricket. I have about 330s,
But the key that you said to that is not out. So if the innings
yes,
was long,
30 not out. The innings was long.
Like the highest was 30 out. So the not out part key, So you're
exactly.
There.
That's why I mentioned the not out. Very important.
Yeah, I know that usually your innings come at the end of it. So, I mean, usually your partner don't stay there with you. So that was the problem with getting those runs. But yeah, so after your test career, tell us about you venturing into coaching or even administrative roles in and around probably Jamaica or the West Indies cricket team.
Well, we ran a Supreme Venture Clinic for about 7 or 8 years in Jamaica. When I was about to wrap up Finsbury and stuff, through Brian George got us. So we did a thing all around Jamaica. Went to the 14 parishes, and we found some of the best talent. I mean, Brandon Tim was playing now, Fabian Hallen, Rahman Powell, just to name a few. All those kids came through that program. So that was something I was very proud to be associated with. Myself, Robert Samuels and Diane Campbell did a lot of the planning and putting stuff together. And then we had coaches from local coaches, Adelma Peters, Cleveland Davison, just to name a few, that came into the system and worked with us. And to me, that was a tremendous success because we laid the platform. Some of those things are missing now. And then I went into coaching. I went to Bangladesh and did 3 years down there with them, more or less to learn the trade. I came back, open to be involved with cricket West Indies, but I got this stint to do the female. I did that for 2 years. Contract was renewed. And then I'm off to England later for a stint with the 100. My second stint with the 100. I also went to Zimbabwe as a consultant with their female team. And I've done a little bit with the women's IPL, CPL here in the Caribbean as well. That as far as the coaching is concerned. But I've also done some commentary from time to time at different test matches and stuff in the UK and here in the Caribbean and in South Africa. So I still have a love for the game. I still would like to be a lot more involved than I am, but I just take things as it come at the time.
So right now you're not currently involved with, say, Jamaica or the West Indies Cricket Board?
No, not involved with either.
Because my next question is, I'm wondering how comes T20 keeping in the Caribbean and Jamaica don't get to host not even one match? I find that astonishing.
And
I will
you
say
have
that's our friend today.
Yeah.
Right.
And the ambassadors for the Cricket World Cup are Chris Gale, Usain Bolt,
Jamaicans.
even the theme song, Sean Paul is on the song. Jamaicans are, right in around all these campaigns, and we do have a cricket match to go and watch.
Yeah, we have 3 Jamaicans involved in it, and there's no games. I don't think Jamaica had even bid. I would have loved for us to have even bid and not got no bid, but we didn't bid. So not sure what happened there. Unfortunately, because I think on the worst case, somebody in the park has a rich history and stuff. And I'm just speaking from a cricket purist now. I would have loved to have seen a game or two at somebody in the park. I'm sure we would have had a good turnout, and a lot of people have come to Sabina just to see the venue as well because of the rich history it has. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So I was actually watching a little bit of the game today. In Barbados and thinking, wow, it would have been nice to have had a game or two here. But sadly, that's not the case.
Yeah, because I find that astonishing because it seems that more football players Sabina than cricket. And then even the other day we hosted 3 warm-up matches against, was it South Africa? So that
South Africa, yeah.
Yeah, that means that cricket is playing at Sabina Park. And that was practice match leading up to the World Cup. But yet still we don't have a match. I just found that weird. I can't.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we didn't have anything in the World Cup, but hopefully we will have learned from this stage and we can plan and move on. And if the opportunity comes again, we have games in the World Cup here, we bid for games.
Yeah. We all know that cricket is somewhat, well, people say it's a dead sport in Jamaica. I don't agree. But in terms of the level, how can we get the level of cricket back up to where it once was?
We have to go into the communities, the grassroots level, and the clubs. Those are very important ingredients, I believe, because if you have a strong base and development program with these entities, then obviously we're going to get competitive cricketers coming out of the system. The high school system is still going, but I'm not sure how the communities are working and the clubs. And a lot of it probably has to do with finances and support and sponsorships so that we can sort of grow the sports here. So a lot of that is dependent on that because what has happened over the last couple of years, we have lost a number of players who used to go to the UK to apply the trade to become professionals. We don't have that much numbers now. That there's less, is a far and few between. So the guys who used to go overseas for the exposure and come back as the pro and put things in the system, we don't have those guys around, or as much of those guys around as in my time. So we have to try to do a lot of the work here. We have done a lot of stuff to get coaches at the level to help them. So we need to put infrastructure in place so we can get that system done.
Yeah, it's right now, even though you say go to the communities, cricket, there's a lot of distraction, even for the other sports. You have the phones, you have social media, you have a lot of distractions. I'm wondering if we kind of have to take a different route in terms of how we can get back the passion, because I don't think the passion is there for cricket anymore. So I don't know if it's just by just going into the communities, will that be enough to somewhat kick off cricket again, or get some form of passion, or get the kids that are more passionate about the sport?
Going to the communities, I think, would help, but you have to, as you say, it can't just be going in and expecting to play cricket. You have to have something to drive it, have some events around it, get them excited again, and motivate them to want to play the sport. And also, the most important thing is to be having fun while doing it. You don't want it to be one of them things where there's no fun involved in doing it as well, because you want it to be a fun-filled event and to have them getting stuff done, enjoying it, and sharing good memories with their friends.
Yeah, because even so now, cricket is way more lucrative with, as you say, all these T20 leagues and
contracts
and more money is involved in cricket. So,
more money involved, but yet still less people playing.
Less people playing. To me, cricket is probably the most lucrative sport. A youngster can venture in now in Jamaica.
It probably is, when you look back at it. It's one of them, definitely. Obviously, athletics is up there and football. So I think based on our history and our culture, those 3 sports are something that we normally do pretty well at. And it's lovely because the finances that you can get from it now is so much more better than when, I played or other people played as well. Yeah. So you have to just face the reality. So
Yeah.
you want them to be encouraged, you want them to be playing, and to look at the returns, see that as investments and look at the returns.
Yeah. So what is is this a reality? What is ICC doing about the reality that Test cricket might be dead at this moment? That T20 is actually the cricket that is the type of cricket that's taking over. So, but I still know that the
purists
the pure yes
of cricket,
they
love
still
Test
love
cricket.
Test cricket.
Yeah.
But I think the reality is that Test cricket is also dead. So maybe so what is ICC doing about that part?
Well, what they have tried, which is something that we have suggested years ago, they have tried to do the Test Championship, which I think has revived it a little bit. I wouldn't say it's dead, but it's obviously T20 has taken over. Even ODI is on the back burner as well because everybody wants to see a result. It's a faster game. It's going to be more attractive. But as long as you don't have an overkill of the T20, it will always be there. But Test cricket to me as a purist and someone who play the game, know that Test cricket to me is the ultimate because that's where you test your character, you test your skill. You can be down and out for 2 days, but if you're good enough, you will recover in the next 2 days or 3 days. To me, that's a good test of character. So that's always going to be there. But, we need to get better playing conditions where the guys can go and express themselves and have fun while doing it and try to get more spectators in. The only Test cricket that you have alive now full time is the Ashes between England and Australia. There's always a packed crowd where it's to be played. So it shows that it's not dead, but you don't want it to be just between 2 or 3 teams. You want 8 or 9 teams to be competing.
Yeah, I think maybe what's his name? Stanford? When the big boost of this money and then T20 and then everybody wanted, maybe them have to put some form of
it work in India,
finance,
in the subcontinent.
Yes.
Money
For
made a
Test
difference.
cricket, so maybe if they can kind of tweak it a little bit and put more incentive and hype it up a little bit more, maybe that's another route that they can take to kind of revive back Test cricket, having people coming out to watch. And if somebody knows, oh, them going to win 100 million, people kind of gravitate towards that kind of thing, Create a buzz.
They can make it more attractive.
Yeah.
All right. I have a question for Courtney.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but many years ago, noted cricket writer Tony Becker came and asked me if I'd like to come down to Melbourne to play. So I thought that was to be, because I can play a little bit. So Tony Becker called me in at Melbourne, but I realized now that Melbourne was starting a table tennis club. So I don't know if you guys knew that Melbourne used to be a table tennis club back then. But Courtney, the question I have for you. You have faced some pretty devastating bowlers in your time because as a tailender, they're going to put the most intimidating guy to bowl to you. And basket around you and all that kind of thing. Who's the worst bowler you ever faced?
I mean, I don't want to use the term worst. The most difficult one might have been Wazim Akram because he left arm around the wicket and he's very skiddy. Wazim Akram, very classical. I did face a lot of shallow Akhtar. I think I played one World Cup game against him. And I played against Brett Lee once, as far back as I can remember, in a Test series. But the guys who were quick and have the ball coming out wasn't as difficult to face as the one who swings it around. And once the Akram was one of them guys who did that.
It's the movement
as well. The movements, yeah.
Yeah. So Courtney, you yourself, I know you have delivered some devastating blows in your time. Have you ever really, not deliberately, but you delivered a ball that, boy, you're sorry for the youth?
Probably afterwards, I mean, you're in a contest and you want to do the best you can for your team. And I can remember not knowing the level of the injury. People said I didn't look at him and stuff, but I was pulled away by the wicket keeper. I remember when I hit Neil Phillips in Barbados as a youngster. All I saw was blood coming back down the pitch to me. It wasn't like it was dripping. It sort of spewed, and the wicket keeper came and pulled me away and said, "You don't want to see this looking nasty." And people tend to think that, well, I was supposed to shine away. You don't want to hurt someone, but at the same time, it's a contest. I mean,
yeah. And my last question, Courtney, I've seen a lot of fast bowlers. I saw Holding, I saw Joel Garner, Malcolm Marshall, all these speedsters. But why you? You were able to set a world record, 500 wickets. Other bowlers had that 2 season, 3 season. You kept bowling and you got the ball when the ball was dead. You got the ball when there was nothing in it with the wicket. Why you, Courtney? Why were you able to persevere?
Well, I guess the hard work that was put in behind the scenes. I was always a hard worker. I did a lot of running and training at Melbourne. I remember going out to practice at night at Melbourne, and the only time you knew if you hit in the stumps was when you hear the sound because you couldn't see them. So a lot of hard work was put in behind the scene.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning at 4:30 to go and run and stuff. And when I used to run at Melbourne, there was two footballers who used to train there. A guy named Roddy Thomas and a guy named Archie Richards. His daughter is the USA or was a USA sprint champion. We used to run together at Melbourne. So when he's kicking football against the wall, I am bowling cricket ball against the wall. And
Yeah.
those are some of the stuff that you put to work in behind the scene, but a lot of people doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
I guess I was always one that wanted to try to be the best that I could do, and obviously I enjoyed and loved what I was doing. So I was never one to shy away from bowling in any conditions, and I didn't miss any tours or any games because I think the opposition was better than us, or the condition wasn't good enough. I always see it as a challenge, and I was someone that liked a challenge. So I think all those things come together and help me.
Well said. Well said. Your most memorable moment.
There's a few, but the two that stands out, winning the test match against Australia by 1 run in Australia for the West Indies in 1992 was one that always stands out. And when we beat South Africa at Barbados in 1992, when everybody wrote us off, say, well, they're going to win this test match. I think they needed 78 to win on the last day with 9 wickets. And myself and Courtney bowled them out, and they lost by 30-something runs still. So those are two of the moments that jump to mind. Obviously, from a team perspective, but breaking the record of somebody in the park when Waverline took that catch against Henry Alonga in 2000 and then getting to 500 in Trinidad are two other personal landmarks that you'll never forget either.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You guys,
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Both you and Ambrose probably one of the best duo in terms of fast bowling.
Team bowling.
Team bowling, that we would call it team bowling.
I used to look forward to watching cricket when I was younger, no matter tests or even one day.
Yeah.
And it was visible on the TV. It's turn on the TV, cricket on TV. No, not so. So as I said, with the advertisement and all of that, you need to get back that in Jamaica.
Yeah, we do. And I think Courtney and I probably have a record for being one of the best bowling players for quite some time. That was probably just recently overall by I think Broad and Anderson.
Yeah.
Did quite a lot more than we did, but I mean, in our time we were up there with the best. So we would still be the top tier, I think. In terms of bowling combination.
Most definitely, you guys are maybe one or two, you know. I definitely think in terms of duo, combination.
And I mean, pioneers. So
Of course.
I mean, anybody else would just have to come after. So that partnership, the longevity, I mean, that was the first long duo in cricket. So
Yeah, man.
Yes, so Courtney, I want to thank you for sharing your story here on Primal Sports. And we're looking forward to hear from you in the very near future. Maybe after Cricket World Cup, you can chime in again and give us your views.
After West Indies lift the cup.
Yes.
No
Yes.
problem, man. The pleasure is mine. Happy to be on board and all the very best and keep going. I won't challenge you at table tennis or anything like that. But
No, I don't think you would beat anybody in the studio.
Probably not. Probably not.
The cricket balls at all. Yeah.
All right, man. No problem.
All right, Cody, thank you.
Yes, thanks.
No problem. Take care.
Good.
All right, that's Courtney Walsh, people. One of the greatest fast bowlers.
His name's
captain of the
greatest.
West Indies in the well, I wouldn't say in the heyday, but is in the latter part of the heyday.
Long career.
Yeah.
Long career.
Once hold the record, I think Shane Warne was the one to break it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of years after.
Who have it now? Mora?
I
think it's,
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think it's Mora later on.
It's definitely the first. Kodash is definitely the first man
Yeah.
to reach 500 test wickets. And
Yeah.
I mean, as
Yeah,
you
man.
see, two
Yeah.
spin bowlers break the record after. So still,
Yeah.
I mean,
For pace bowler, that's what I was saying. For pace bowler too,
500 wickets.
those long run-ups,
Yeah, man.
and back to back,
year after year.
yeah,
after
bowling
year.
at top speed, not an easy thing.
Of course. And I'm sure there's a lot of injuries,
Yeah,
So you have to put in the work.
yeah, man. Mhm. Yeah, longevity. Yeah, man, for sure. Courtney Walsh used to swing the ball, and Ambrose come at the next end with the pace, and yeah, man. Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
what it was the variation.
Yeah.
Get you out with that slow delivery.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, the quicker one come and then you see the slow one come out. and with the same action.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, as a batsman, to bat against the variation. Because you know, as you said, we can play like a cricket.
you
You
play like cricket,
yeah, we play like a cricket, man. People don't know this, you know.
Yeah.
Cricket, football.
Usually when people ask if I play cricket, I told them that I played for Melbourne.
You know, I heard Courtney say, but I didn't get to really ask him, but he said Richards. I wonder if it's Sanya Richards.
Yeah.
Sanya Richards was a football.
Yes,
Okay.
We knew that.
Okay, I didn't know. But anyway, people, you know what time it is? It is time for sports commentary with the controversial one.
Greetings, World Wide Web and all Primal fans. Thank you, 36,500 people, for tuning in today to watch the interview with Courtney Walsh. Great guy. So, a little incestuously, table tennis. Table tennis, winds of change. I hear that the old president is out. Andrew Lou is no longer president of the thing. I didn't see them dancing in the streets, but I think that it's a chance for table tennis once again to try to reboot, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of the top players to support this president and to play. Because I don't know if you know this, but Jamaica has produced 3 great players in the last few decades, and 2 of them have not been active in the scene, and the third is trying to get them back in. So Kane Watson and Simon Tomlinson, Solisha Young, I hope they come back into the fold and start competing, and I hope we can build table tennis. It's not Angelo, we had high hopes for him, and I hope he will stick around and help table tennis, but the presidential role was a bit challenging for him. So I don't know if you have anything. You have anything you want to say about that? No. All right. So still on table tennis. World number 4, Fan Jindong, used to be the big man. And he made a comeback this week. He's fighting injuries. Olympics coming up. The Chinese want the 2 best players in the world to be in opposite halves of the Olympics. And so Ma Long withdrew from tournaments that are going on now to allow Fan Jindong to walk through the field and challenge the number one player in the world, and even beat him. And you know, there's conspiracy theories that could be telling you what's going on there. But the Chinese need the top 2 positions in the world so that there's a split in the seedings, so that they don't end up in the same half. Because only 2 players are allowed from China to play in the Olympics. But it was good to see the big man Fan, who they call Little Fatty, back in form. So recently, Jamaica played, we opened our World Cup campaign against Dominican Republic. And there's a lot to be proud of and a lot not to be proud of. I see we beat Dominican Republic. I see we got a penalty and Bush the penalty. I see we're 2 of the best players, in my opinion, and in Hallgrim's opinion, the greatest player, didn't even play. They were in the stands dressed up in Gucci and Prada, some are down Versace, and you know, they sat in the stands and watched the game instead of being on the field
with drip.
with drip. And that is a problem. You know, we just talk about table tennis. We want our best footballers to be playing when the big matches are going on. What the hell is Leon Bailey and Whisper doing in the stands when they could well be out there helping the country's efforts? And it wasn't all that good a show as far as I could see. Mr. Hallgrimson made some statements, you see, that really hurt me. He said that Jamaica needs Leon, and he said that Leon is the best player by far, by a country mile, in the Jamaica team. And he wants that player in order to produce the results. Now, I have a problem with that because Leon is a good player. Leon is probably even one of the better players. But by going on and boosting up this man, after you, Coach Hallgrimson, were the person who suspended him for indiscipline, I find it quite a problem. You know, the coach either wants a team or he doesn't want a team. Do you want a collection of stars or do you want a team? Because what you want is a collection of stars. When Leon stayed out overnight along with the other player, the coach will sweep it under the carpet. If you want to know the truth, you have a decision, you know. If you want Leon to play regardless of disciplinary thing, then let him play. but don't impose discipline. But once you put the man, you go and discipline him. You got to stick to your guns. Don't be crying in your beer now that you need Leon on the field and all this kind of thing. And now Leon has gone and made things worse by saying things. He's the one that we all come to watch, and he's shining a light on Jamaica team and all this kind of thing. So this situation I blame on Hall Grimson. If you're the kind of manager who will overlook things because you want to win, then be that guy, right? Make the man talk to him privately and say, Leon, don't do this again, right? But put him on the field. But what you don't do is suspend him because you're a coach, and then you complain that the man is not available to you. You know? You have to take a stance, Coach Hall Grimson. I don't know how they do things in Iceland, but in Jamaica, that's not how we do. All right. Now, speaking of indiscipline, Jamaica football match was scheduled for 6:30 on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday, guys? Wednesday. Thursday. And I bought tickets to go watch a match, only to hear now that the match was moved forward to 3:30. Why the match moved forward? The lights did not arrive in time. CONCACAF couldn't take the risk that the lights would arrive at the last minute, and therefore decided that the match have to play this is 2024 now. We're not talking 1974 now. We're not talking 1934. This is 2024, and we have a big football match, and the lighting arrangements were not made. I hear them come up with all kind of excuses and all that. They say nobody's to blame and all this kind of thing. But seriously, this is football. It's a professional era. We expect the players to play at a certain level. We expect administrators to operate at a certain level. No scoreboard at Sabina Park. I hear the other day we have big football match and nobody knew cricket match. Nobody knew the score. It just makes us look bad. What is next? When we have a swim meet, will there be water in the pool? It is embarrassing. This is Jamaica, man. We're the biggest country in the Caribbean. We can't even host a World Cup match here. Are things so bad? Because the lights came, but they came late. And we need to get it together. French Open, Djokovic is out. And all of a sudden I've lost interest. The GOAT was in the hunt. He developed little pains in the quarterfinals. And you guys might not notice he had to have surgery. So now, as luck would have it, Alcaraz will play as Zverev in the finals. On the other half of the women's half, Swiatek, my favorite player, will play some unknown person. And I expect who in the women's side.
She win today.
It's not.
6-2, 6-1.
Okay, I was gonna make a statement, a prediction,
6-2,
but seeing as it's already done, yes. Yeah. Now, have you guys seen the Adidas, the new kit for the reggae boys and girls?
Nice.
Looking good. Nice. I only have one little beef with it. The men's kit, we chose the players, and the players wore the kit, and we took pictures. For the women's kit, we chose a reggae artist. What's her name? Shensia. To model the kit. Why they couldn't just use the regular girls to model the kit? You know, why is it they never get Beanie Man to wear a suit for the men, and why the women get Shensia? I sense there's a difference in how we treat women and how we treat men. I think that if we can have a pop star, I don't even know if Shensia is a pop star. I don't. If we can have a pop star for the women's team, where it's showing off the kit, why we never have Valiant or Skilly Bang wearing the men's team gears? I think we have to sort out the duality of that we're dealing with. The next thing is that Jamaicans can breathe a sigh of relief, because finally we have some hope in the men's sprint. Here in Jamaica, Mr. Seville produced his personal best and beat the American man who was talking no talk. Noah Lyles came to Jamaica and was puffing out his chest and like him coming to take everything. And I like that this youth came and defended the turf. That's what we do in table tennis. We defend the turf. Right, kid? If it's not me, it's you. But Seville defended the turf and even had a bit of drama when he had a bit of drama with a little pause at the end when he won the race. But a word of warning, I'm going to tell Mr. Seville, I'm going to tell all Jamaicans, run the race to the tape. Please, people, I can't take no more heart attacks. We lost the World Cup simply because we didn't run through the tape and allowed Sha'Carri to pick our collective pockets. And the Jamaicans are known for this thing, running to 99 and doing a little thing like it's easy. We know it's not easy. 100 meters race is still 100 meters. It's not 99.5 meters. These Americans have been trained to pick our pockets. And I think that our real danger, that is more of a danger than the people we're running against. Finally, one last word on UFC. Makachev is the supreme pound for pound because he fought Dustin Poirier. It was a great fight. I watched it. I don't know if you guys saw it here in Jamaica. But it was a magnificent fight. But as usual, the man from Tajikistan reigns supreme. And it will do for some time now. That's sports commentary. What say you?
All right, that was sports commentary with the controversial boss. Do remember, the phone lines are now open. 1-876-552-7406. And that's via WhatsApp only. 1-876-552-7406. Yeah, Peter covered a lot there in his commentary, and I mean, I don't even know where to start, but I mean, it started off with the Reggae Boys.
Okay.
I mean, Reggae Boys start the World Cup campaign with a wonderful victory over Damrep on Thursday. Now, a not so impressive performance, but yet still we got the 3 points. But I mean, to talk on the positives, we see some sturdy performances, some promising ballers coming up. Like, for instance, Cephas to me was the most menacing person on the pitch for us. Although in the final third, he could have done a bit more with some probably telling passes. But overall, I see where he is definitely one that will fit into the squad. I mean, overall, we had some key players missing. To name a few, Andre Blake, captain in goal. I mean, Leon Bailey. Whisper in the stands. For what reason, I don't know. Casey Palmer was out. Latibody was out. Lembiska was out. I mean, overall, we had some key figures on the field. Also, with Mikel Antonio out there, Shaman Nicholson out there, Bobby Reed out there. I mean, Michael Lecter out there. I mean, Deshaun Bernard. But, so overall, it was still a strong squad. We feel it. I think that we should have got more from the game, got more results. But again, what we, with Jamaica Reggae Boys definitely lacking is a creative midfielder.
Yeah, I hear you start off the sentence with impressed.
No, so it's not impressive.
I know that I was about to ask you, when was the Reggae Boys ever impressive, you know?
I'm 98.
That's our question. I can't think of a match who come here the next day and say, well, I was impressed. You know, so so
You were impressive against the USA up to that last minute.
We're a bit defensive the whole match though against USA. Stretching for the result.
So you were impressed with that match against the USA?
I wasn't impressed.
I was not impressed either.
I wanted the result. I came close to getting the result that we wanted, but overall impressed. And football,
very long time. It's been a while.
Even against the Minos, not impressed.
Yeah, well, they are supposed to be like a lower grade football nation.
They are isn't that bad, but compared to Jamaica, we are leagues ahead of.
So we have the same issue in terms of the midfield again and again and again and again. So what
we're going to do? I mean,
how many we need?
Shop in England because we have a lot of English-based footballers. We have local footballers here as well, and the key component that is missing is a creative midfielder. Ravel seems to be definitely out.
Ravel is out.
I don't know what happened to Tyrick. I mean, so who gonna put in that position? I don't know. Maybe we have to try some experiment with Leon Bailey in that position or Demar Gray or.
So you think once we get that creative midfield, I think that will unlock and
potential. Because Mikel Antonio not getting service.
Yeah.
Mikel Antonio is a bustling number 9, and I see Mikel Antonio dropping deep, coming to collect the ball.
I'm trying to play that role.
Yeah, he's not effective in that position. Even Shamar Nicholson, I see him switching with Shamar Nicholson. Sometimes Shamar Nicholson drop the two. That's not his role. So we need that creative midfielder that can even come for the ball and distribute it with a long pass, short pass. Somebody that can take 4 to 5 touches on the ball and not look like they don't know what they're doing.
Hot potato, eh? And get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
So you say we're shopping all over the world and we can't find
Like a creative
and we
midfielder.
can't find one.
Yeah. Even in our local ranks here, who is it that in our local ranks, so for instance,
I forgot
the
blame.
JPL,
I forgot blame.
Premier League, who is that creative midfielder who can say, all right, why don't we try him or try him?
I think we have to blame the coaching staff for this one.
We have a lot of wingers.
There's
A
no.
lot of
I don't
wingers.
think it's possible to say that we can't find one. We
Them are
must have
Gray,
one or
Liam
two or
Bailey,
three. That
Cephas.
the scouts not
Everybody
doing the job.
is more built as a winger. I don't know if we're going to get Mason Greenwood or Omar Hutchinson, who both are also wingers.
Again,
But maybe they can fill in that role and try be a creative midfielder. I don't know. Or we play. But we need a creative midfielder.
I'm going to coaching staff. They have to do better than this.
We need a creative
No, it's time
midfielder.
them have to do better than this. I'm sure we have one or two creative midfielder out there.
Maybe Damien Love could be a creative midfielder.
No.
Because Damien Love seems to be moving up the pitch.
Yeah,
Move
higher
from
and higher
centre
each
back
time,
to
yeah.
defensive midfield. And I see where him playing that role, him even trying to move high up the pitch.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that technical ability where
Yeah,
he
no.
can take 5 touches or probably beat one man and make a through pass, or even have that technique to kick a low, hard shot to the goal. Because him kick a shot and him clearly kick the ball like a defender, because he is a defender. I mean, him playing the defensive midfield role seemed to be working out, and I see where that can be his position
Better
going
suited
forward,
for him, better
because
suited, yeah.
I think that his role is to try and break up the play further up the pitch, especially when they play the better teams.
Yeah.
He's that enforcer, and he plays with his heart at 200%. And with players out there like that, I mean,
So you brought up a name, Tyreek McGee.
yeah, I don't.
Since Tapper, I think Tapper and him probably didn't say eye to eye on certain things. So I wasn't in the squad under Tapper. And I think he played 1 or 2 matches with Hal Grimson. What's the issue with Tyreek? Is it, well, we all know footballers always have attitude and disciplinary, the conduct is always suspect.
Yeah.
It's football, it's part of football. All the great players, they normally do have the manners. You know what I mean? Romario, Ronaldinho, they normally
But they produce
don't.
on the pitch.
But they produce on the pitch. So is it the same thing with Maggie? He's the only one that comes to mind when you talk about a creative midfielder, and a young creative midfielder that can kick the ball, can pass the ball, can control the ball. The skill level is there.
Can take 4 to 5 touches.
The skill
on the
level is
ball,
there.
Can beat 2 defenders.
So what
Can
is
make
it?
a pass.
Maybe because him have a Jamaican passport? No, I'm just saying because I'm sure if he was, if he had a British passport, they would have invited him long time to come back to the squad.
You sound like Froggy. I think you're Froggy part.
No, but it's a real thing. I'm wondering, but he's the man for the job, for the position.
Or at least in the squad.
Yeah,
Or
at least in the squad.
I mean, and even with these matches coming up, these World Cup qualifiers.
Playing against Dominican Republic,
precisely.
why
They were
not?
playing the
Why
lesser
not
teams.
try him? He's the only man that has been playing that position from prep or primary, high school days right
Coach
up to
Grimmy
now.
is more result based.
I think Coach Grimm is looking is a foreign thing, man. The resumes, right? Who playing in the big leagues and the big clubs, and maybe Maggie not playing in the top tier leagues in the world.
I think even with Ravel, maybe Ravel is for disciplinary reasons. Because Ravel is
None of them have the
31
manners.
now.
You know it already.
I don't think he gets along well with the squad, so maybe that's why he's not in the squad. For Maggie now, I'm not so sure. But even so,
But
coming down the line,
Ravel will be perfect for this squad though.
tell you.
With all the workers around him. And you mentioned Cephas and the rest of them around.
Yeah.
Ravel will be perfect for this squad now, this time around.
with his
you know.
talent.
Huh? No, I think McGee should get an opportunity now. McGee is a man.
If
Try
not
him.
Ravel,
Try
if
him.
not Ravel, if not Maggie, find somebody. There
Yeah.
is nobody there that has that technical ability. There's nobody there that
Yeah.
can
I'm going to just tell you one
hold the ball
strike.
and have 5 touches on the ball and make a through pass.
Okay, and I'm going to just tell you one strike with Jamaican midfielders. We don't track back. We don't do enough defensive work.
That's why Bobby
We
have
think
to
it's
play.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. Jamaican midfielders don't tend to understand the link, the role between defense and attack. So they don't support the defense. They go forward with the attack and they stay up there and take the time coming back, and then when the player breaks
That's
down.
probably Ravel issue.
That's always been the problem with Jamaican players, except maybe Peter Cargill and Winston Anglin. Those guys understood midfield. Hector Wright understood the midfield role. So that was my strike against almost everybody who come out of Jamaican football. We don't track back enough. Leon Bailey don't track back enough.
No.
That's my point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess,
So Peter, you just said,
I guess-
so you're looking for a defense, you're looking for the,
The midfielder needs to understand when the player breaks down,
Yeah.
he's got to come back and help the defense and convert back to attack. Jamaicans don't understand that part of football.
okay,
like a Jude Bellingham.
okay.
Jude Bellingham is a workhorse in the Real Madrid midfield. I mean, although that's a higher level to talk about, but I mean, we need some creativity in the midfield. We're
Yeah.
just depending on the wing play, cutting
Only
in.
great midfielder, Messi don't track back either. So Messi is probably Messi caused the problem.
Messi has a free reign still.
Yeah.
Messi's an alien too.
He's a libero.
Yeah, man, that's like Valderrama. These guys don't need to work that hard in the midfield. They have a specific, they have people around them that can do that dirty work.
I need midfielders to track back.
So you tell me, say none of the other midfielders that we have now don't track what?
Not really.
But Bobby Reed.
Oh, that's why Bobby Reed have to
Bobby
play.
Reed,
You can't see that.
That's why Bob.
Bobby
That's
Reed has
why.
to play. Bobby
Okay,
Reed.
okay.
3 players I think that have to play.
Low.
Are going to play, not have to play, but going to play.
Damian Lowe.
Andre Blake,
Yeah.
Damian Lowe,
And Bobby Reed.
Yeah. Everybody else can be interchanged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's Shamar Nicholson, Mikel Antonio up front, Leon Bailey, we see where Cephas, I mean, running down the flank, Demar Gray. If I don't know, Omar Hutchinson coming to play for Jamaica.
So-
him seem to become campaigning to play
Hutchinson?
for Jamaica.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, the word in the street, Mason Greenwood thinking about it, and that's for sure. But even so, most of our attacking so-called pros is just directed down the flank.
Well,
I mean,
let me
we
see.
need some creativity.
Well,
we need
what-
other options. Yeah.
We have a match against Dominica
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
And
I guess it's the same
think
team
Peter is pining for Kaim Dixon to
start.
get a start. Peter,
need to get a start.
Peter believes in Kaim Dixon.
Yeah.
He needs to get his first goal, and this is the chance. When they play the Minnows, this is the chance.
The Minos. Okay.
But I think like one thing Coach Clemson,
Yeah.
he's result based.
Yeah,
and I
don't
think
want-
he's going to feel a strong side and try to get the result early. If
Yeah.
not, it don't seem to be a experimental coach, especially seeing that him know him job on the line, 'cause we can't mess
And
up.
man, the hot seat. So I can
Always on the
understand
hot
with
seat.
that.
So, I mean, I expect against Dominican Republic anything under a clean sheet for one and scoring at least 3 goals. I mean, we
So why-
need to get to see the ball going in the back of the
So
back of the net.
why is Whisper not on the team, Ken? You guys,
question.
why is Whisper in the stands watching
with Leon Bailey.
with Leon Bailey?
I mean, they're in the same
Well, we
camp.
know Leon Bailey's
They're the same
issue,
management, yeah.
but why is Whisper not in the
Your
Jamaica
guess is as
setup?
good as mine. I don't know.
A 2-for-1 package.
There's a package deal.
Solidarity.
It's a package
Craig
deal with
Butler
him.
situation going on.
There's a Craig Butler situation.
Subplot with Craig Butler going on. And we might as well, we cannot hide it.
Yeah.
We talk things. Both of them are managed by the same guy. And I hope, because Leon Bailey made a mistake, which is to carry forward the Craig Butler grievance. As a player, he should just be playing. He shouldn't be expressing Craig Butler's grievance. And by the way, if you go on Primal Sports page, I posted an article about the long-running feud between Butler and the JFF. And unfortunately, it's going to it's polluting our football right now.
So
when you say
ask you
Whisper,
before you continue,
go ahead, sorry.
but don't you think that what happened back in the past with Craig and the JFF, don't you think that it affected Leon as well?
Yes.
In terms of blocking him from.
Absolutely.
Don't you think the player
Yeah.
himself would
Yeah.
have known
Yeah.
and felt all of
But sometimes you got to move on,
bias?
you know. You got to move
Okay.
on, you know.
Don't you-
Sometimes
yeah, I get you. I
gotta
get what
move
you're
on.
saying, sir, but I
Yeah.
know him probably is not just through his manager, Craig, but
Yeah.
him himself face it.
I
You know what I mean?
No. And I'm saying
Yeah.
sometimes you got to move on.
I
What is
agree.
Whisper's excuse?
Huh?
What is Whisper's excuse? He's just showing solidarity with Bailey because he admires Leon, you know. He's a big brother to him. And so when you see the two of them up in the stands, it's a message we're sending, you know.
Yeah.
And it got deeper than just I'm injured or whatnot.
Of course.
The fact of the matter
It's
is
not good though.
you cannot have that
These
subplot running.
opportunities are great for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
To start.
This is Jamaica.
To shine. Yeah.
To shine, to score goals.
And show even your
have
club, and
impact.
show your club, your quality, so you can probably get
Whether
in the
it's
first
Dominican
team.
Republic, whether it's Dominica,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Antigua, no matter who,
Yeah,
go
I
there
agree.
and perform and get used to playing in front of the home crowd,
Yeah.
satisfying the fans. As I said, producing,
Yeah.
scoring goals, get used to
on your resume.
Listen up, Craig not trying to get on any teams, you know. So Leon needs to get on the Jamaica team. Whisper need to get on the Jamaica team.
Yeah.
Like, forget about all that thing and go play some football. That's my feeling.
So I wonder why both parties can come to some agreement and move
Going
on.
forward, tomorrow's match,
Yeah.
you see the starting 11, and I mean, definitely going to get the 3 points, looking to get the 3 points. But Reggae Boys World Cup campaign kick off.
Yeah.
And again, with the whole light situation, that again was, I mean, disgraceful to say the least.
Yeah. And remember,
The match scheduled for 6:30 and it pushed up to 3:30, and I think that
that threw off a lot of people.
along with the weather, threw off the stadium from having more spectators. It was still a decent turnout.
Every man should be there.
Yeah, it's still a decent turnout, but
It's pretty tough to have it on a Thursday at 3:30 in the afternoon.
that's why it was scheduled for 6:30 at first. But
Exactly.
then, I mean, it's a travesty that, as Peter said, in 2024.
And
then you knew about the lights.
and the thing is, it is happening every year. Something like this happens. At least 2 incidents each year.
And before, the week before was
Yeah.
Jamaican Premier League final, and we see where there were markings on the field.
Yeah, they had
There's some Scotiabank games.
Scotiabank Sports Day.
Some Scotiabank games on the national field, and use some paint that.
when I was
You have to
watching
get
it
it out.
when I was watching it on TV, it was horrible. The lining in the field, you don't even know when the ball going out.
Sports Day and
Yeah, they have to do better. They have to do better.
Scotiabank Sports League. But then again, money talk, and they probably rent the stadium and Independence Park get money.
Some
Scotiabank to host the games on the national stadium field when you have Stadium East where you can play.
That's my point. They had, and it's a Scotiabank is a small
No,
set.
international bank, man. International bank.
No, it's a, no. All right. It's a big bank, but
Yeah.
1,000 people wasn't there,
Yeah.
or 2,000. You
Keep
understand?
the
You understand
stadium
point?
Yeah,
You could have,
keep the stadium east, man.
you could have keep that at Stadium East. So many. You could have keep that at St. George's. Yes, even
Winchester
George,
Park,
even Winchester Park, a quality field. Why the stadium? And you know you have a big league match, the finals.
And
At
then you
the-
have World Cup qualifying right after that.
Boy, I don't
I think
know.
the
I-
excuse that was given was that Scotia approached IPL, Independence Park Limited, prior to JPL approaching.
Okay, God, at the
Word on the street. That was
Even
rumor.
so, yes, but what they use on the field?
I don't know.
see
Whatever
what-
they used took 5 days to come out.
5 weeks?
5 days.
yeah, that's
It
bad.
didn't come out, it looked like they dig it out.
That's
I
bad.
don't think it come out. I think that
You know what? No fully washed out.
But anyway,
You know, fully washed out.
all right, Froggy, it's people. It's time for Froggy in 5.
Yeah, good evening again, everyone. So today it's basically pretty much follow up of my co-host, reactiveness versus proactiveness. And I think that is the issue we all have here as some Jamaicans do. We tend to be more reactive to what is happening, or react to stuff rather than be proactive. And for the past a month and a half, we see where both national monuments were basically at fault of reactiveness. Sabina Park, how long now we have this scoreboard there, digital scoreboard, and you wait until you have a match, a warm-up cricket match to discuss, oh, the scoreboard is not working, and you have to make a makeshift scoreboard.
World Cup cricket match.
Warm-up World Cup cricket match. Warm-up to a
Yeah,
World Cup cricket
to a
match.
World Cup, yeah.
And this is the
yeah,
same Sabina part that we were chanting about to host a World Cup game, and we don't even have a functioning scoreboard. And this was known 3 years now that the scoreboard is not working. There again, we are reacting. Stadium lights have been out of commission for have been out of commission for a while. CONCACAF released that they were not so tolerant of the issue because JFF knew about the lights not working. It's not just now.
A team got fined last year.
It was known before that.
Yeah.
So Cavaliers and Abbeville were fined because of the stadium lights, and it was known prior to that the lights were not working. So there again, we are being reactive. We're there at the stadium, and it's one entire column over the quick easy section. The entire column out. They had some makeshift lights put in there because one of the stadiums in Jamaica, one of the Premier League teams, brought in some lights. And those were the lights we actually put up to help with the fixtures. There again, we're just being reactive. These things were known long before. I heard that the JFF was actually in dialogue with IPL to have the lights fixed for a while, and it's been a back and forth issue. Babsy trying to pull herself out of it, said, boy, her technical team didn't advise her, but come on now. Cavaliers were fined.
Public knowledge.
Public knowledge that they were fined. How about you were fined? So how is it that sports minister, how you can explain something like this happening, and there you sit
Who you think the blame should come down on?
Everybody, man. Everybody. Out of 100%, each person.
That run the stadium.
IPL getting a blame. Babsy getting a blame. You're renting out the stadium. Yeah. I think they're saying that the lights
remember GFF have to pay to rent the stadium. Yeah.
But again, JFF as well, if the lights
so if
are
you're renting a venue, the venue should be up to scratch for you.
Yeah, so that's IPL part of it.
IPL should fix the lights.
Sports minister also should make sure so the lights are conducive to hosting sporting events. And JFF now know that the lights were not working and still promoting a 6:30 game.
They were hoping.
They're hoping. There was no hope.
They know the week before.
They had 1 week to send over all of the necessary things.
But CONCACAF know that the match is going to play at 3:30.
Yeah, CONCACAF know a long time.
CONCACAF said the match is going to play at 3:30.
Long time, from the Friday at 6:30.
Knowing that the match is 3:30. And they waited till the day before
to announce
that the match is at
3:30.
They wanted to sell the tickets because I would have bought a ticket.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I would have done? I would have said, since I know that I'm not yet in the stadium, send the match down by Arnett to play. Create a hostile environment for Dominican Republic.
Not good on Arnett, go watch.
What do you mean? Create a hostile...
No, if he would have to approve.
So we're caught in a rock and a hard place.
It have to pay a national
But again, imagine you showing up on a table tennis tournament and there's no ball.
That's different.
I mean bad lights.
Bad lights.
No, this is what I'm saying. This the whole proactive and reactiveness. Imagine showing up to a table tennis tournament and you hear that the ball should have arrived 1 week before, and you show up to the tournament ready to play. UK and what's ready to play. Racketing on, and there's no ball.
No, that's different.
There's no
ball. That's not comparative to as much as there's no lights in the place.
But the lights are known years.
If there's no lights.
Years. Not 1 year, it's about 2 years now the lights have been complained about, and you don't do nothing about it till at this point.
World Cup qualifying.
There's no good planning, you know.
Research Grand Prix, they complained about the light as well. The light was not good. We are too reactive.
IPL just collecting the money, you're saying?
We are too reactive. We need to start putting things in place from now on. When we think about
we who
government and the sporting bodies.
Let me challenge you. Okay. Water gone on the bridge, agree?
Yeah.
What are some proactive things you would do right now?
Right now,
yes.
The minute I get the lights,
no.
The lights are installed. We know the lights are installed. There should be a timetable in terms of maintenance of these lights and the stadium itself. Whether you want to maintain,
so
check maintenance. IPL.
Yeah,
maintenance.
So there
IPL. Should be a checklist. Is it every week or every month or every quarter? You have a checklist of these things.
Is IPL a part of the government as well?
Yes.
Well,
and you know what Babsy said? If IPL had tell them everything from before, there are some funds put aside for the track. In case there's nothing wrong with the track, they can fix the track. They could have taken the money out of that and get the lights into the island.
But they got the lights.
Who said the lights are here?
The lights are in. The lights
they are here?
They're fixed. The lights are fixed.
When they fix?
The day before the match. It was too late to change. CONCACAF said, oh, no. Too late to do it. CONCACAF came and they did their checks.
I put this to you.
And they're not redoing their checks
I can
the day
bet you,
before the
I can
match.
bet $1 million now. There's no lights fixed in the
The
stadium.
lights are fixed. The lights are fixed.
I can tell you that.
Lights are fixed.
New lights are
Yeah,
installed.
new lights are in the stadium.
I can tell you.
Yeah. New lights are in the
The
stadium.
12 by 12 that we see. Colors.
New lights are in the stadium.
All right.
New
All I'm
lights are in the
saying.
stadium.
So it fixed when?
The day
When?
before the match.
So they turned on the lights for the
The
match?
last match. No, the match is already at 3:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on still.
But CONCACAF did their checks.
Because the place was dark, right?
Yeah, lights are on.
Because of rain.
Yeah. CONCACAF did their checks 2 weeks before the match.
Yeah.
They did checks. The lights were not ready. They said they cannot take the risk. So IPL still went ahead, got the lights. CONCACAF said they're not redoing their checks so that you can pay them what they're professionals. That's how you do your thing. You come in, you do your checks. It's not up to scratch, you push up the match. IPL still go ahead, get the lights, because you still going to need the lights. Put in the lights. CONCACAF not redoing
Like I said, going forward.
JFF know that this was going on and still promote the match at 6:30.
6:30.
Yeah.
So them trick you, Peter. Them trick you.
They already know that match don't play at 3:30. They already know that the match don't play at 3:30.
Everybody know.
From 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Everybody
So
know.
them trick Peter.
They were hoping to get it to play at 6:30.
They know that the match not going to play at 6:30.
So, as I said, going forward,
That's blind hope.
maintenance check of these lights. The same thing at the stadium again. We have an electronic scoreboard at the stadium, a big screen. It's not working either. So we have 2 big screens at the 2 monuments and none of them not working. You get these, like, once we get these things going, have a cover for them. So during the rain time, they can either lock the screen when it's not in use. They have a maintenance check. Whether it's checked every month, every quarter, every 6 months, whatever you want to do, you have these things checked and double checked right around the clock. Before a sporting event, you have these things checked at least 2 weeks
Do you
before.
think that these things aren't checked?
No, they're not checked. They're not being checked.
You sure about that?
You sure
They're
they're
not being checked.
Are you
You know that there's a lighting issue at Sabina Park as well.
So hold on. So this is a
They're
part
not being
of this is,
checked.
all of this supposed to be a part of the budget for sports when they're doing the budget.
Yes, maintenance.
Government,
You know what's Jamaica's biggest problem
so
is?
that means that funding that's supposed to go to maintenance is not used for
It's
maintenance.
not being used. It's used for something else.
Okay, I get you,
sure about
Fragan.
that?
It's only
sure
like
about that,
you
Frank?
have a
Listen to me, man.
plot twist.
You have
A
Big
plot
Racers
twist.
Grand Prix and it's phase 3 you borrow a screen from
Wow.
and catch it up in the bleachers
So
section.
Fragan, the taxpayers' money is not being used in the, in the right way.
I mean, I see somebody said something about the minister the other day, you know. I have to publicly apologize.
Yeah.
Man, you make them come for you. Man, you make them come for you.
Come for me? They
Somebody,
can come.
What was the minister again? I think it was Daryl Voss. Somebody sent something on Twitter.
Yeah.
They have to come out and publicly apologize.
But it is
Can't
evident
go around
if-
spreading rumors.
If the money was being used to maintain
My
the stadium
Babs
and
come for you.
Sabina Park, we wouldn't be in this predicament.
Yeah, but
I think it's a big
shame,
problem.
though, that
Our maintenance is a big problem.
It's always been the
the
complaint.
match being
Maintenance.
moved up from 6:30 to 3:30 because of lighting issue.
And you know, I can prove that the money is not being used.
That should never have happened.
I can prove that the money not being used, you know.
You can prove it?
Look at catching all.
No, I'm just saying you can prove it.
Catching
Look at
on.
the catching all multi-purpose.
Let them to it.
Is it being maintained?
I haven't been there. I've never been there before, I think.
It's run though.
It's run down.
It's the biggest farm. It's the most. It's the
Wow.
biggest farm in Jamaica.
The country cannot sustain trees.
Okay.
And we have trees.
That's fragging 5.
It's all right. All right. I
But
mean,
you see about the athletics.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
we're
idea
about to
now.
go.
well, I mean,
No, I mean, you're not excited that Seville is running world leading?
a PB 9.82. Talk about some track and field now where the national trials is slated
June
for June
27th to the
June
30th.
30th, the end of this month, and everybody is shaping up.
Mummy Rocket
To
has
qualify.
run a race, so you mean she's shaping up?
Oh,
I didn't say anything about Mummy Rocket.
You
I'm
said
saying
everybody's shaping up.
I think the ladies are kind of quiet now.
yeah.
Yeah, the ladies. I don't know, is hide and seek playing
so
or.
when you're a top dog, you know, you don't really
Yeah.
have to show your hand early, you know.
I guess everybody
When you've
waiting.
been there and done that, you know, you can
You know what when
easy.
you do exercise your teeth?
Is you go drop out?
She's running in. She's running in training. She's doing her runs in training.
So this trial's coming up in a couple weeks' time at the National Stadium should, as always, be very interesting. We're going to see some
Yep.
young guns stepping up. We're
Can
going
see
to
the
some
older one stepping
world
out.
leaders
Yeah.
people who were leading so far, like the Sevilles and the
Slowly.
Hibberts. I mean,
I'm
Slowly,
and you have some
Sharika.
old guards that want to show that they still have
Yeah.
teeth, as Peter would say.
Did Ebert do a world leading?
Yes,
Yeah.
17.75.
I would tell you this, that youth is a face of track and field, right?
Jamaican track and field.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that man made the stadium
man.
jump up,
Stadium
man.
lift up for him.
Yeah, man.
I hear some people
I've-
complaining about the backflip. Tell me about the backflip.
The
I mean,
ba-
a youthful exuberance. I mean, if you're a teenager, you know,
Could have got
you
the
can
injury
backflip
still.
with him,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying he have to be careful as well. But
Peter, when you have one youth, a triple jump, would never ever see everybody start hyping up. This youth is a star.
Listen about triple jump.
Yeah,
A backflip can end your triple jumping career.
I know.
backflip can end your career in anything.
In anything, yeah.
Boxing, probably not.
Anything a backflip and
Yeah.
one bad step. But I mean, 17.75 a world lead,
Yeah.
and a fun fact: out of the 10 best triple jumps ever for a Jamaican, he has 9 out of the 10 of them.
Yeah.
Except for the national record of 17.9
James Beckford?
by James Beckford. So the next best 9 jumps, he has it.
Yeah.
So he's looking to eclipse that record and probably eclipse the 18-meter mark come Paris. And I think
Might
he
see
has
jump
it in
out the
him.
pit.
And I mean, at age 19, world lead professional athletes.
They think it's
I
time
mean,
they think about extending the pit.
No, pit. Nobody not jump over 20 meters. A fly one man fly these days. Man.
Just move the board back.
Yeah. But
The pit is big enough.
he's definitely a generational talent, and I mean, once he stays healthy, should take home the gold in Paris. And as I said, I think also I agree with you.
Yeah.
He's the face of
Local
Jamaican
Jamaican
track and
No,
track.
I think that's a stretch.
Everybody
Nobody.
everybody
raving.
everybody
Yeah, but
is looking at the triple
and
jump
his
pit.
This
personality.
is the year for him to prove it.
Yeah. No,
But he's been proving it.
No,
It's
what I
just-
mean,
He's not the face of
no,
Jamaican
no, man, no, man.
Who would you say is the face of Jamaica?
Sharika Jackson?
It's Sharika Jackson.
No,
Male.
Male.
It's what do you name Seville?
No.
No, Peter.
No, Peter.
No, Peter.
No,
No,
It's
no,
It's
Peter.
Hibbert.
Peter. No, Peter.
Peter, it's Hibbert.
No, this youth, Hibbert, him have everybody looking.
Who's the face of track and field in America?
No, well,
Lies.
Lies.
Who beat him down the stadium?
That's
my
event.
point.
That's
my
event
point.
of big
That's my
event.
point.
But
That's my point.
it's debatable,
That's my
but
But even so, who was at the Grand Prix at the stadium?
Hibbert.
No, out of everybody here at the table, who was at the Grand Prix? I can tell you,
I was
everybody
there.
jumping
I was
up over
there.
this youth.
Yeah.
I went to the trap meet before,
Yeah.
and I went to Racers trap meet, and
Inter-
once he got
invitational.
the pit,
everybody,
and the
all eyes on the pit.
the whole stadium.
Starlight qualities and
That's what I'm saying.
That's why
That's what
he
I'm
has it.
saying.
But I
And it's a
watch-
field event.
Excuse me. I want to see some performances. I want to see some.
And this
world-
is before him
I wanna
jump.
See some world records. And then me tell you, you are the face. of
But
the
he's
It's
a
a
world
before-
lead.
But
No.
Peter, he has
has
the world lead. The
Yes,
world lead.
yeah.
As does Seville.
Yes, but he has more hype behind
He has
him.
more
He has more
consistency.
everything behind him.
And he's
You know what I'm saying?
he's not a gold medal prospect, you
Go
know.
watch the market.
He's a gold medal.
He's not a gold medal prospect.
He's a gold medal
favorite.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Civil is not the favorite.
Still is not the favorite.
Seville
Probably a
did
prospect.
put a good show up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, got
winning
Yeah,
with,
but he has a
yeah,
previous
and had the
injury.
longest jump
For the year, same
I know,
way.
with the
Yeah.
warm jump
with a warm-up jump was the longest in the entire
know.
competition.
Unproven quantity for me.
I agree. I understand what
And
you're
I
saying,
think,
but
and I would even put Broadbell over Seville.
You crazy, man.
Broadbell is the sportsman of the year.
Probably Parchment or Civil
You
too.
can't do that.
Broadbell is the sportsman of the year for Jamaica. Seville is upcoming, and I mean, not to knock Seville, he's on the right path, 9.82 world lead.
Yeah.
What Broadwell winning?
Commonwealth Games.
Yes. You probably don't win.
Fastest
Who win
fastest
Wales
hurdler.
last year? Who win Wales
He
last
has
year?
our
Oh,
national
Parchment.
record.
Parchment win the
Parchment.
He has our
Parchment.
national record,
I'd be
Broadbell.
more into Parchment than
Parchment and Broadbell.
at this point.
But I'm just saying,
Obviously, Parchment is a more household name, of course, and more known, of course.
Parchment been doing it longer. But Seville,
But
9.82.
Seville race was a good race too, you know.
Yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah,
It's a well executed race.
Yeah, great race.
I do agree with you.
It was a well executed
I
race.
don't think
man.
it's a well executed race.
But for
I
Seville,
think that he had a brilliant start,
Yes.
brilliant
60
drive
meter?
phase, running straight up to 80. But as Peter said, it is a 100-meter race. And what I saw at the end of the race, to me, wasn't necessarily showboating. For me, I think he was stretching for the finish line. He was far ahead. Him look across and realize that him have the race in him bag.
Yeah.
And him look across and then just big up his chest and come across the finish.
Yeah,
But
execute.
him have to run a complete 100-meter race.
I don't really.
I think
I
that,
don't see it as anything.
I see Bolt run, for example, 9.82, Asafa. I mean, you name them. Even Noah Lyles or even the Americans run a 9.82 and run through the tape. Civil never run through the tape.
But that's fine. I see
It's
both.
not a matter-
I see both look like this.
No, it's a matter. No, it's not a matter of showboating.
With the
Right.
gas?
Can he run through the tape?
Of course.
We don't know that.
I don't know that.
Oh, come on.
I see him tying up at the end.
No, oh, come on.
I
He's
don't-
serious.
I was
I
there.
don't think him tied up.
Oh,
I don't
come
think him tied
on.
up.
Come
I don't think
on.
him tied up.
I don't know if Asafa Paul ever run out.
No, Asafa is a head case, man. Come on. We can't compare Asafa with Civil.
No, but-
I've seen Civil run at World Championship. Fourth, came fourth, right?
Yeah, he ran through the tape.
Yeah, man was run through the tape, but him problem just to say him have the 1 year now.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
But
saying-
that is the difference. But that is the difference between
Eh?
first and fourth.
What's that, sir?
No, I like it, you know. I like the showboat.
As I know, like I said,
I'm
I
not
see.
talking about the showboating at the end.
You,
I'm talking
you're
about
worried about that you don't think him can finish the race. That's what you're saying.
You see like how Noah Lyles
No, like stopping speed.
accelerate to
Yeah,
the line.
Yeah, but you're stopping
He might
speed.
decelerate coming to the line.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Decelerating.
Yeah.
Coming. Well,
It's just like Shelly, you know.
personally, I'm not that excited as
No,
old,
sir, we
as
know how we know,
the
sir.
regular Jamaicans over Civil running 9.82.
Yeah, I wasn't.
When I'm not that excited because I know the Olympics. I don't pick him as a gold. I don't see him as a gold medal favorite. That's me.
But that's what we
We
want.
don't see him.
I know I want
That's
that,
what
but
we
I
want.
don't see him as that exceptional talent to me. I think he's just a good runner.
Yeah.
You know, I don't pick him to win the goal.
But remember, we're coming out of the bolt here now, and we're spoiling it.
Yeah.
To
For
see the
example-
Americans on the on the podium collecting that gold medal.
He's not a Ewan Blake. He's definitely not a Ewan Blake.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
But
not.
he's our best prospect
Yeah.
For a medal.
for not to take the reins.
Yeah.
And seeing that 100-meter or sprinting is our creme de la creme, we need that goal.
Yes,
That is pressure. And we cannot accept bronze or silver because we are
spoiled.
Jamaicans and we are spoiled. We have Bolt, we have you and Blake.
We have Safa.
I didn't say that.
One second.
We have the females, but
We
I'm
have
just saying.
Safa.
Sorry for the devil's advocate, but
But we want the gold medal.
you and Blake. I was on a plane to Shanghai recently, and he was on the plane to go running at the Shanghai thing. And I asked myself, should Yuan be really trying to make this team?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
And you think Yuan should try?
But I
Why
think it
should
kind.
really?
I think
Really?
it's kind of
Really
diminishing.
cool.
Yuan is coming last in almost all of these races, you know. I hope you know that, you know. He's
Missing in.
coming.
So what would you say about Elaine's performance the week before?
Oh, come on, man.
I think
it's just the start.
I think Elaine is different from Ewan. I think Ewan had a great early career, and I think him kind of putting himself down a little bit by
My bread and butter.
man. I don't know. Well, his legacy to me is tarnishing his legacy. The
Legacy
more
don't pay bills.
I know that, but I'm just saying it kind of right now he's almost forgotten in most people's mind that he was a world champion at 19 years old. A lot of people don't even remember how fast Ewan is the second fastest ever over the 1 and the 2 because of what we're seeing now. I think him staying at the game too long. I think it's time him step away. Kind of tarnishing him.
After this
So
Olympics.
hold on, let's just get this clear. Your message for Yuan Blake is step aside.
Step away, man. Stand down.
Yes.
Stand down.
that-
Can't see the big man finish last.
My
Last.
message is make your money.
Try and make the relay team.
Make your money. Continue.
And you think he has a chance of making the team?
No.
Oh, that's a different.
But he has to make his money. He has to make his money. Fort is running good. Civil is running good. I expect Akeem Blake to there. Kishane Thompson should be back. Rowan Watson should be there.
K. John Goldson's
I think
around
when
the
you're
corner.
great, and I
Ford.
think you mustn't put yourself down to
Taekwondo
this level,
Chase
man.
probably.
No, sir. I don't think him should have put himself down to this level, Kane.
You're feeling how Mike Tyson taking this last fight?
No, man,
think
that's
I
exhibition,
that's-
Peter. That's just
my ears
exhibition.
postponed.
It's postponed.
Postponed,
Medical
postponed,
reasons. Medical.
Back again?
Yeah.
Tyson have
medical.
a
Mike
injury.
Tyson in hospital.
Yeah, I'm an injury. yeah. But we still can't check up.
They can check up. That's exhibition, Peter. That's exhibition.
That's for the likes. That's for the YouTube likes.
Yeah.
The Instagram likes and all those things. Yeah, but I mean, you have to go out there and compete. But let's see what Johan Baker of him sleep come this trial. On the female side,
The ladies being very quiet.
I mean, we don't
Not
see
too
Shelley,
much.
we don't see Ilian. We see
Well, we saw a piece of alien.
we see a young slowly out of UTEP
Yeah.
running sub 11. I think she's the 25th Jamaican now to go sub 11. And I think sub 11 is sort of a ratified.
I wonder what that means.
It's benchmark.
Sub
time.
11 club.
It's sub 11 club.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah,
It's
yeah.
getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
I think it's not
yeah,
a
sub
benchmark.
11 club.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Asafa's
Sub 10.
biggest title, you know, is sub 10
Sub
king.
10.
At 97, right?
Yeah,
Didn't reach 100 yet. No, no,
stuck at
97.
You'd have to visit a motor vehicle.
But I mean, we see we're youngsters stepping up,
Yeah.
especially Forbes, running
Forbes.
11.05, coming back from an early season injury, running up into form.
Slowly,
Brianna
10-9.
Williams
11:08
running 11.08.
yesterday.
No.
Brianna Liston running 10.91.
Brennan Williams. Tell us about Brennan Williams.
She ran 11:08 yesterday.
Yeah, she running
Change
11.08.
camp
That is good.
based on she's
really
within the
not-
bracket of everybody else
I mean, if your
between
PB is
10-9.
10.94, 10.98,
I remember
and
the-
you're running 11.09,
No,
and you're not peaking, this is
and-
not the time to peak. You're on the right trajectory. You
and
can't peak this
should
early.
just change camp,
You can't-
you know.
Would you like to run a PB this early in the season?
And remember them.
This is our pass.
Them have
No,
to
man,
catch
Charles
she
time.
and Shelly. You know, remember they got to catch both she and Shelly.
out the blocks.
Yeah. So
Of the ladies on the US circuit running NCAA
Yeah.
championships. So, I mean, come June 27th to 30, we have more
what's the Elaine?
of a storyline leading up as
Yeah.
we have more meets.
Well, Elaine is
Coming
running
up.
tomorrow, so let's just see
So,
what she
we'll.
does.
So you think
But
Elaine
the-
gonna make this finals?
Yeah,
I was hoping for her to make the team, but you think she actually gonna make the
Yes.
finals? Okay.
Yeah, Froggies are in the team.
I think she
I have her in the top three.
honest with you.
Who?
I have her in the top three.
Okay.
I do have her making the finals.
I telling you,
I do have her making
You
the
know,
finals.
you know many young girls out there running.
everybody telling me about young girls. So when it comes to these type of events, this
You
is
don't
the
think
team
she's
we're talking
injured?
about,
You
know.
don't think she's injured?
No, I don't think she's injured.
Okay. All right.
And if you say she's injured, that means you're probably going to say
I
Shelley's injured.
definitely
I know
think
there's
so.
definitely going to
I
be
think something wrong with her.
some, I wouldn't say upset, but
Let's see
some
how she
new
performs
blood-
tomorrow.
Some new blood going to be in this team.
Slowly.
Whatever
Hey, we don't know.
5-6 years ago, she has lost it.
Yeah.
I don't think
Sad
so.
though, but
I don't
anyway.
think so.
I so we'll see that
June
and-
the 27th to
yeah.
30th national trials. And
We shall see what we shall
we'll
see.
have a breakdown of the trials each week leading up.
Mm-hmm.
Closer and closer we get to the trials, and track and field season is
Fully active now.
fully active. It's
Fully
past
active.
the early stages, and people jostling. for
crunch time.
positions, Crunch time. They don't want to make teams, and everything is gearing up for Olympics in July. I think it's July 26th to August 11th.
I think everybody's trying to stay
So,
as healthy as possible. That's
As you
hence and
quit
not see them
Olympics around the corner,
running
we have
as much.
Euros football right around the corner. So
A lot
we don't
of
even
friendly
touch on the lawn
split.
tennis.
Yeah.
Peter mentioned lawn tennis. Swiatek winning tomorrow finals. Zverev versus Alcaraz.
Yeah.
We're going to close the show with a little roundup on NBA. You know, trying to in the last 4 minutes. We're going to see if we can get a quick roundup
Yeah.
on the NBA, where we see Boston Celtics up 1-0 against the Dallas Mavericks, winning the first match 89-107. Dallas Mavericks kind of slowed the gate in the first one. Boston Celtics glad to get the unicorn back, and as
And I tell
title
you,
favorites, living up to their billing, and
Poor-
it's going to be a
Yeah.
tough matchup for Dallas.
Porzingis, I think, is a problem.
Porzingis is
I
an
was
X-factor.
posting or was hitting the mid range, was just basically doing anything that
deep threes. some
yeah, anything
deep,
he want
deep
to do.
threes.
And I know.
Jason Tatum, the so-called best player for Boston, had a subpar game, and
You know,
Boston still
but
found
he's
a
been
way to
having-
win.
Yeah,
been
because
having a
Boston
subpar
has
season.
more offensive weapons. Most of the players they all can they can play D and they're very skillful at the same time. But Porzingis
He's an X
is
factor.
the X factor.
7-3 shooting trees from
And let me tell you this: that man,
around 35
if
feet.
Boston win and him keep this up, he's gonna be the MVP of the finals.
Between him and Jalen Brown.
Yeah, but
think
I'm
in-
telling you, this shoot here, the things that has in the mid range, the top of the key, the man, there's nobody
Getting
can mark.
blocks.
There's nobody can guard the man.
getting blocks at the rim.
Yeah, man. There's
And
nobody
altering
on the
shots.
Mavericks team can guard him.
So you have Boston winning the series.
Boy,
Have
I,
Mavs in
well, I don't.
six.
Luca, I think is
The best player in the
is the
series?
best player right now. Yeah, he's the best player. I think Porzingis for me is a
Basketball or in the series?
no in basketball,
Basketball.
Peter.
Luka.
Luka Doncic is the best player in the league.
Between him and Jokic.
Between him and Jokic,
One A, one B.
but I'm going with him because I think he can do more. Can do more with less, you know. But Porzingis is a problem. Definitely a problem.
But you still don't answer my question. You have Boston winning the series?
Boy, it's hard to go against that 7-3 giant, you know, boy. It's hard. It's hard.
I have Dallas in 6.
I still.
Dallas in 6.
The only reason why I
I'm
still. The only
going
reason,
Luka.
no, the way the first match went, I know those threes not going to drop right throughout the series.
No. Dallas go make a change, and I think Dallas needs to find an X factor. Somebody off the bench that can give a quick 12 to 15
Tim
points.
Hardaway.
And I think Tim Hardaway,
Tim Hardaway.
but he's not in the rotation.
They got to put it. Them
Jason
have,
Kidd is playing Jaden Hardy more over Tim Hardaway.
Tim
But I
Hardaway.
think that if Tim Hardaway can get in the game and
different.
knock down some 3-point
Yeah,
and
man.
build up his confidence.
Open up the court some
And
more.
I mean, these guys are professionals.
Yeah, man. But
If the coach Conley should be ready to go out there and do the job.
I don't think it's
So-
just the way Boston.
I don't
Yeah,
think,
that game.
I don't
The ball
think
in game
Dante
one.
X
Not gonna happen.
or Josh Green can be that X factor for Dallas.
For
I think
Dallas?
it has
No.
to be Jaden Hardy or Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway is the better shooter. And I mean, with Luka and Kyrie getting all that much attention, somebody has to share that load. Because
Yeah.
as I said with Boston is a deeper team and they share that load. Because with Jason Tatum only scoring 16 points and you win by 18 points, having a 29-point
Right.
lead throughout the game. I mean, Boston has that comfort of having players that can just
Shoot.
put the ball in the basket.
Really and truly.
Derek
you know.
White,
Really and
Drew
truly, you
Holiday,
know. Really and
Al
truly, you know.
Horford.
Boston is a super team, you know.
Super team.
It's a lot of all-stars on Boston team, you know.
Yeah.
Former present all-stars and
former.
former all-stars on
And
Boston
they can
team.
play D. They can play
All of
defense.
them can
Derek
play D.
White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum,
Yeah. But people,
Jalen Brown.
the match,
Tomorrow.
game
It's
two,
game 2 tomorrow.
will be at
Dallas
7
winning.
o'clock tomorrow night.
Dallas winning tomorrow.
Well, for
One
my
of our
sake, the
series.
best player, I want the best player to win, which is Luka. But
But we'll see.
We'll
Tomorrow,
see.
as I said, Zverev versus Alcaraz. I have Alcaraz winning that match tomorrow. What do you have?
you know, I always like the German from ever since from the Olympics. I always bring him, but been injury prone, so I'm going to Zverev,
We should be a close one.
Alexander. So to win his first, no, that's who I'm going with.
I'm going to Alcaraz.
I'm going with Alcaraz.
Everyone going with
Alexander
Alcaraz.
has been one of my favorite players. Yeah, but he's
So it's
been.
3-1. It's 3-1. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, these guys learning are deciding with the shot.
Decided with a
man.
shove.
Deciding with the shot.
But
These
people,
guys-
but
But
people,
okay, that to change, you know.
yeah, man. People have to thank Courtney Walsh, the great Courtney Walsh. You know, one of the greatest fast bowler in the history of cricket. Not just West Indies cricket,
Jamaican
but
or West
cricket,
Indies,
worldwide
overall.
cricket.
Definitely a legend.
man.
And I want to big him up for taking the time out.
Yeah, man.
us that.
Showing us some love here on Primal Sports.
That interview and break
Yeah.
us down from where I started to where he is now. So as you say, yeah, big up buddy.
Yeah, man. And thanks to all our listeners over there in Trelawney,
Fit FM.
the western side of the island, Fit FM 96.7, the Primal 4K app, you know, the World Wide Web. That tune in to us each and every Saturday.
Without you,
At
this
this
couldn't
time.
be possible. And up next, DJ Teach Him from the Primal Sports X One Love. Have a
Wonderful.
enjoyable weekend and watch some sports. And tune in next week. We'll be here again. Peace.